Hey guys, Lo-Fi here, back at it again with another video, this time on the Marvel Legends 85th Anniversary Cabal 3-pack. This one's an Amazon exclusive, including Taskmaster, which uses the Vulcan body mold instead of the Bucky Cap mold, Iron Patriot, which uses the new Extremis body mold, other than the old one that used the old Extremis body mold, and the new Dr.Doom, which is just the Super Skrull Build-A-Figure Dr.Doom, just with a different head. And these guys are really cool looking. I like the retool for Taskmaster. I didn't get the old one because he doesn't interest me that much as a character, but this new one on the Vulcan body mold looks better, and his new head sculpt looks really cool. And the new Iron Patriot is a welcome addition for me, especially because I just like the design of this one a lot more than the old one. And Dr. Doom is Dr. Doom. You can't have enough of him. And he does come with a new Doombot head sculpt, which I'm really excited to get into because it opens up more posing options. And then I want to take a look at this box art because I am collecting more of the 85th anniversary line. I don't normally do reviews on Marvel Legends figures, but Hasbro's been pumping out some really good figures lately, and I might want to cover more of the newer ones that are releasing now. I just got the Ms. Marvel not that long ago, and I am getting the Astonishing Wolverine in soon. I didn't get it the first time, so I pre-ordered it for this month, and it's supposed to be coming out around sometime this month, hopefully. And it really gives me the vibe of the Dark Reign for most of their figures. We're getting some more new Avengers characters, and we're getting some Dark Avengers characters, some Cabal characters, and that was one of my favorite eras in Marvel, like the Heroic Age, the Dark Reign, you know, after Secret Invasion, leading all the way up through that kind of time period. And I really wanted to get a good look at the box because I really like the box art that's on the back. And on the sides, I think it looks really good. And all of the other figures within the 85th anniversary line share the same box art, so it's all kind of flushed together. All that being said, I'm going to crack these guys open and we're going to get a closer look at them. Alright, this is the Cabal 3-pack out of the packaging, and I am super excited to get into these figures because they look really, really neat. I want to adjust just a little bit. Yeah, alright, so the Cabal was a sort of like riff on the Illuminati from back in the early 2000s, around like 2000, I want to say around 2008 or 9. And they were just kind of like the evil version of the Illuminati. So I believe it was Dr. Doom, Norman Osborn, the Hood, Loki, Namor, Emma Frost, and sometimes Taskmaster. And these guys were great. Norman Osborn, after the Skrull invasion, had taken charge of S.H.I.E.L.D., which was originally Tony Stark's job in the comic books during this time period. And once he seized power, he created his new Avengers team, his Dark Avengers, and he kind of became the new Iron Man of the group and put Captain America colors over it and dressed up a bunch of bad guys as superheroes. And that was a really cool time period for me. I really liked it. It was a really, really nice shake-up of the status quo. So let's see. Who should I get into first? I think I'll get into Taskmaster first. Taskmaster uses, like I said, the Vulcan body mold, and it has all the Taskmaster colors and paint all over it. So he has the Buccaneer boots, just this dark blue plastic for most of the body, with some orange and white paint sprinkled in, and the gloves and boots and kind of crotch area are all sculpted in white plastic, while most everything else is kind of sculpted in this dark blue plastic. Other than the arms, I believe the arms are in an orange plastic where they just paint matched the upper bicep and just painted it that way. And you know, since this is the Vulcan body mold, it all has kind of the same musculature and all that, just with the added pieces, like his new belt with the raised Taskmaster logo on it, which is really cool, and you get all the pouches that aren't painted but are sculpted fairly well. You see all the stitching in there. The same thing with this, other than the buckle on this end being painted. You see all that nice belt sculpt work all over, and you see his little holster. And these buckles are actually painted too, which is really nice. And then this piece right here on his thigh, which is really cool. It's a floating piece. I wish it wasn't. I wish it was glued in or something, because I don't want that floating all over. And then you see the gloves, you see all the wrinkles. Is there sculpted detail in that? I believe there might be some leather sculpted detail in there, which is really, really cool. And then you get his cape, which is one solid piece. They made Dr. Doom's cape cloth in this 3-pack. I wish they would have done the same with Taskmaster, but oh well. It's sculpted nicely, but it's still a heavy, thick, dense piece of plastic. But it is sculpted very nicely. You have that white with the yellow on the inside. You have his quiver right here with some arrows in it that cannot come out, but still look very cool. And then you get this like clasp piece that is painted gold, and that looks really cool. You get some detail right there. And then we get up to the head sculpt, which is really, really nice. I really, really like this head sculpt. See, the eyes are painted in right there. See his teeth. See the teeth on the mask. Let me actually pop this out so I can give you guys a closer look. All that detail, all that paint work with that new paint printing technique. It looks really, really nice and detailed. This is a very nice head sculpt, and the hood is sculpted very nicely too. See all the wrinkles all up in there. He looks really, really nice. This is a really nice head sculpt, and that kind of makes the figure for me. And since he uses the same Vulcan body mold, he still has the same kind of articulation scheme with some hindrances, mainly due to the cape, so I might actually pop that off for the articulation. So his arms can go up about this high, they can T-pose, and they have that little butterfly joint that can go in and out. And then he has bicep swivel, double elbows that can go in about this far. Oh, let's not forget his head. His head cannot really go back a whole lot because of the hood. It can look down a little bit and can rotate. Not a whole lot of tilt there. And this wrist can go up and down. He does have alternate hands, and they can move other directions, but these only hinge up and down. And then he has an ab crunch that can go in about this far, which is really nice, and can go back about this far. And then he has some rotation on the lower half, and then he can kick up about this far, and he can kick out about this far. And then he has upper thigh cut, double jointed knees that can go in about this far, which is really, really nice, really nice. He does not have any boot rotation though. I don't believe he does. It doesn't feel like he does. And then he has ankles that can go up, down, and pivot. I'm really surprised that ankle doesn't rotate. Pretty sad. And now I will get into his accessories. So he comes with a pair of fists, bonus pair of fists, which is nice for a fighting character who can replicate other people's fighting moves. An open hand, which is pretty alright. I like that he has like at least 3 pairs of hands. That's nice. Or 3 hands, 3 extra hands. So he has a total of 5 hands, people. He comes with a bow, which makes sense because he has a quiver. Quiver with no bow makes no sense. And this is the same bow that is used for the new Hawkeye figure. He also comes with a sword. My sword came out really, really weird. So let me show you. So right here you see a sword. Looks normal enough. But then when I put it to the side, look at how that was molded. I do not like that one bit. I have to get creative with the handling for when I mess with this figure, because that is sad. That is really, really sad. I don't like that. The sword's really nice too. It came with the Baron Zemo figure, but I don't like that. It's like a boomerang blade. And then he also comes with an arrow. It's the same arrow that was also used in that Hawkeye Sky Cycle set, just painted a little differently, like tips bronze. I think the other feathers were still red, but the believe the arrow was white, I think, or instead of brown. I may be mistaken, but yeah, it still looks nice. And then he also comes with his signature Taskmaster shield. His iconic Taskmaster shield, and that looks really cool. So what I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to take his cape and put it back on him. I'm just going to gussy him up just a little bit. I'm going to take this, pop that on. I'm going to take that, pop that on. Oh, or I'll drop it, or I'll just straight up drop it, people. Oh, I forgot. I almost forgot. He does come with his iconic shooting gun that he uses for shooting people. And this is the same one that came with the bullseye figure. I'm just going to holster that. Got that put away, that put away. That shield just went flying. Gonna put that right there. There we go. Gonna grab his shield. I'm gonna pop that right on. And it's the same shield clipping system that Captain America has. Put that right there. And then I'm gonna take his sword. Just gonna put that in his hand. I know it's a trigger finger hand, but I'm just gonna pop that right in there. And then I'm just gonna have him posed up. Might do something like that, or I might do something like this maybe, and that'll look pretty cool. And I'm just gonna set him right there like that. There we go. And then the next person I'm going to get to is Doom. Now, like I've said, Doom is just a retooling of the original version from the Super Skrull Build-A-Figure wave. The only difference is they put the classic head on this hooded head sculpt. Instead, they just swapped out the heads and swapped out the hoods more like. And it's still good. They put new eyes behind the mask, which I think is pretty cool. And it's a different plastic color, and when I get two size comparisons, I'll show the different Dooms next to each other too, so you guys can see the differences in the plastic. And this one has a cloth cape now, which is a better, more welcome addition, I think. I think I'm starting to prefer cloth goods over the hard plastic capes, and I don't think anyone's going to blame me on that one. He looks really, really cool. And we'll go down, you'll see all the sculpted details. And again, this is the same figure, the exact same figure, just different heads. You see all the buckles, unpainted though, which is a shame. You see all the little details. And then you get to his thick, thick tunic, which also has some sculpted detail in the tunic. You get to see this like brown, leathery type sculpting in the plastic. You see the Dr.Doom logo, and then you see his ornate belt buckles. You see that, all that detail in there, and that is painted gold, and some of these pieces are painted gold. But all throughout, you also get to see his little back thrusters. Underneath the arm, you see this kind of chainmail, more sculpted detail on the padding and all that. All the rivets, very, very neat looking, and then you get detail on his neck and bolted detail on his head sculpt. I'll pop that off so you guys can get a good look at his head sculpt. There is flesh tone underneath. You get that good looking head sculpt. You see those piercing eyes. And this is actually sculpted on here and plugged in, which is also very cool. So you can remove that cape. Other than that, that is kind of the look for Doom. Pretty basic. It's the same. Oh, and these are painted this time. It wasn't painted on the last figure, just by the way. And for the articulation for this figure, I might actually... He can look up about this far. He can look down about this far, because there is a ball neck right there. You're not going to get a whole lot of articulation for this head sculpt out of the neck joint because of how thick the hood is, which is unfortunate, but you do what you can. but you are going to get some articulation out of this ball peg because that's going to bury when you articulate it, so he's going to be able to look down very far. Not a whole lot of head tilt, but he can do a lot of rotation. His arms can go out about this far. Can go all the way around. You know, bicep swivel. Double jointed elbows that can go on about this far. And he does have a hinge right here at the wrist, and he can rotate. And this one hinges this way. It hinges just slightly different. And then you have rotation because it's just a ball piece in the base of the torso. So I can bend forward about this far, not back a whole lot, and you can rotate. A little bit of pivot side to side. And because of the tunic, you're not going to get a whole lot of leg articulation, so can go up. I'm going to try and push it my best through this skirt, and he's going to go up about this far. It's not too bad. And his legs can go out about this far, because there are slits in the tunic to allow him to do this. Then he has rotation, the thigh. Then he has double jointed knees that don't really go in all the way. Then you do have rotation at the ankle. And then it can go up, down, and a little bit of pivot. Anyway, I'm going to get into Dr. Doom's accessories real quick, get into Iron Patriot, and then get onto some size comparisons, and you guys can enjoy the photos at the end. So, Dr. Doom comes with his iconic Dr. Doom pistol. Let's see. Get some sculpted detail in the grip. Right there. Get some little gun detail. And it'll fit right into his trigger finger hand. Let's plug that right in. There we go. And get that going right now. Pretty cool looking. Pretty cool looking indeed. It can also fit into plug this. There's a little bit of wear on his little holster right there. You can see that right there. I'm afraid that's going to rip right off. I do not like that one bit. I'm hoping it doesn't. I might not use this holster a whole lot. And I'm going to plug that right back in. And he also comes with an alternate pair of fists, which is very cool. And he comes with a Doombot head, which is very, very cool. See those eyes, the painted detail in the eyes. It's like a little skull. I'm wondering if the mask from the Captain Marvel 2-pack will fit onto this, because that would be very cool. We'll just pop the thing off, and then have the reveal of the pretty much T-800 head, which is really, really cool. And what I'm going to do right now is transform him into a Doombot off camera real quick. Pop these hands off, popping a hand off. I'll actually show this part. Pop that off, pop this head on. Okay. And then what I'll also do is take these little clasps off, pop these out real quick. Take this cloth goods cape right off. And then I'll take this cape and put this off to the side. I'll put these clasps right back on. And then there. Now he is a Doombot, which is very, very cool. Look at that guy. Very, very awesome. Now we have a little Doombot. So I'll put him off to the side. And then we'll get a closer look at Iron Patriot. And Iron Patriot is just the extremis body mold with some retooling, i.e. the brand new footsies I believe these are the brand new footsies. I'll show him next to the Extremis Iron Man when I do the size comparisons. Some definite new tooling in the legs for sure. You can see that from there all the way throughout there. And he doesn't have any tread marks on the bottom of his boots, just clear. And this new detail looks really cool. The white stripes on here are painted pretty crisply. Painting on these figures has been pretty good. I wish there was some extra like panel lining detail. That'd be very cool. But this lower half is definitely from the Extremis figure. I believe the arms are also from the Extremis figure. These shoulder pieces are definitely new though. Oh, and they are attached to the forearms, so whenever you bend the arms up, these will pop out. So I usually just apply a little bit of pressure and pop those back into place. New torso piece is good. Got the emblem on there. I do have a little bit of scrapage on the sides, just a little bit, barely noticeable. And it has that marbleization on the plastic. It still does look really, really good though. And there's all that detail on the armor. It's very shiny, no extra painted detail, just mostly sculpted. Only painted detail is with the white stripes on the figure. Everything else is just pretty much molded plastic, but it is very nice looking molded plastic. But I will show you real quick the incredible painting on this head sculpt, this paint printing technique on this head sculpt. Extra added detail. This is the head sculpt that came with the retro carded Green Goblin, and I'll show you off that head sculpt when I get to the size comparisons as well, because I'm just going to do one-to-ones with these figures. And then, yeah, this looks incredible. I really like under the eyes, the green color. Very, very cool. Very, very cool. This figure looks very, very nice. And then when we get into the articulation segment, I'll start off at the head. He will look up about this far, so he can get into some very nice flight poses, which is awesome. He's in an Iron Man suit. You can look down about this far. If you really bury the chin, you can look down about that far. You can turn left to right. Now, the shoulders do allow you to move these out of the way a little bit, but his arms won't get up super, super high, about that far, which is still pretty nice though. And then his arms can rotate all the way around. He has bicep swivel, also hindered by the shoulder pieces. And then he has arms that'll go up about this high, go in further than 90 degrees. Then he'll have these hinged wrists that are still pretty stiff on my figure. I'll go in, outward, not super, super far, because that's where the end of the hinge goes, right about there. And it's just torso articulation for this figure. So he'll pop up about this far. He'll go back about that far. He'll go forward about this far, which is not a whole lot. And then he will rotate around, and he'll have quite a bit of pivot, which is very nice. And if you move these battery packs upwards, it'll allow his legs to kick forward about this far. And he'll kick out about this far. And then he'll have some upper thigh cut. And legs that will bend in about this far. And nice, very nice double jointed knees. And then his ankles will move up. Not very much. Again, very stiff. It'll go down very far though. Up, down. And it will do some pivot. So the articulation on this figure is also very, very nice. Rotate down this battery pack. Very, very cool. And then we'll get into this guy's accessories. So he comes with an alternate pair of open hands, more of like repulsor blast hands, which is perfect because it comes with some rocket boost effects, and these rocket boost effects can actually be used on Dr.Doom or Iron Patriot. So what you can do is you can plug them directly into the hand. You'll have that kind of repulsor blast feel. Or you can plug them into his feet, which is also very cool. So it's like so he can fly away. The same thing you can do to the Doombot. You can plug them into his back ports, which is very cool. Or you can also plug them into his feet, which is another nice little addition. You get that interchangeability, which again is very, very cool. And then he also comes with an Iron Patriot helmeted head, which kind of completes the look. And I can give you guys a better look at that head sculpt. And it has like a line detail right there and right across there. It looks very, very cool. Pretty basic. It's a different sculpt than the Extremis figure. And the eyes are kind of like sculpted underneath the helmet, which gives it a really nice effect. Alright, so I have all of them all posed up. Very nice looking, very cool looking. And I think this 3-pack is incredible. I think that all the figures that may, because they are retools, people might be wondering, is this worth getting? I really like the new additions to Dr.Doom. That way you can make a Doom bot. The new Iron Patriot is fantastic. If anybody missed out on the old one, you get a new one. Same thing with Taskmaster. I think this Taskmaster is 3 times better, much better than the other Taskmaster. And these guys all look just really great. And these guys will look good in photos, and they will look awesome with your Dark Reign. They'll look good with your Cabal. They'll look good with your Dark Avengers team you're trying to go up against. They'll look great with your new Avengers. Everything. These guys are awesome, and all Marvel Legends are made to go with each other, and it's just awesome. And I'm going to get into some size comparisons real quick, and then you guys can enjoy the photos at the end. Okay, and these size comparisons are mainly for funsies, so it's going to be kind of hard to put these all together because I do have a lot of figures. They're all just legends, though, keep in mind, because I just wanted to see what they all look like. So I'm going to start with Iron Patriot because I did get all of my Dark Avengers, and they're all out of frame. So I'm just going to line these guys all up. So here's Ares, and here's Sentry. Let me add my black suited Spider-Man, the retro carded one, because I think he makes an awesome Dark Spider-Man. Put him right there. Take my US Agent, because he was a member of the Dark Avengers, off to the side. Oh, lovely. Put him off to the side right there. And I'll take Hawkeye. Put him right there. Stand him right there. Get my Captain Marvel figure that I put a Sue Storm head on for my Dark Captain Marvel. Kind of mixing my eras of Dark Avengers here, but who gives a darn? And then my Dark Wolverine, which is minusing some claws because of my cats. I'll put him right there. And that's kind of my Dark Avengers crew. Very happy with that. Very happy with how it's looking. I think it looks really cool that I was able to get a bunch. I'm hoping that they remake a couple of these characters. Like, I would love to get a new Dark Wolverine or a new Dark Hawkeye. That's just the regular Odin wave Hawkeye, by the way. And he looks cool. He looks alright. I just wish we had a slightly different one. Something just a little different. I think that I would be fine with that. Let me see. Because I have a whole thing of size comparisons just waiting in the wings, so I might just take him, replace him right there. There we go. Put my Bullseye figure right there. Put him right there. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take this Spider-Man, take him out of frame. It is thunderstorming right now, so I'm hoping that'll keep that in mind. Damn it. And here's a few of them transformed into their villain counterparts, and I think that's pretty neat. And I'll just get all these guys out of the way. Ugh. Move all of them out of my way. Scooch them all over. And then I'm going to do two size comparisons in one real quick. I'm going to have him next to the Green Goblin. And the main reason I'm doing this is so that you guys can see the head sculpts put together. Let me actually pop both of these off. Do a little head sculpt comparison. And you can see the difference in the detail between both figures. Pretty crazy. Hold on one second. Add that extra lighting. There we go. Now you guys can really see the difference that a little paint can make. And I think that's pretty cool. Like how both of those look. Now, pop that head back on. And then what I'm going to do next is pose him next to himself. This is the older model. And it looks pretty cool. Pretty cool. Alright, and you can see these guys together. Definitely an improved product. Looks so much better. The paint even looks better. Looks so good. Looks incredible. And I'll put next to him now the Extremis body that he's based off of. See the different torsos? The feet are the same. The lower legs are different. The lower torso is the same. The upper torso is different. And I believe the arms are the same. And the shoulder pads are different. Very cool, though. It's still, I think the legs make this one slightly taller, maybe? Maybe. I'll pop this other head on real quick. And that is definite improved product. These guys still look super awesome together. Swap him out real quick for the Bucky Barnes Captain America, just in case you want to recreate that poster for Dark Reign. And these guys also look pretty cool together. Pretty cool. Pretty neat. Then I will put him next to his mortal enemy, the Spider-Man. These guys look really cool together as well. I don't think Spider-Man ever fought Iron Patriot. I can't remember. Or they didn't fight a whole lot during this time period because he became more of an Avengers level threat. And these guys look really cool together. Next, I will pull out Tony Masters again, so I can do some comparisons, some Avengers comparisons, because he is an Avengers villain. First, I will put him next to Hawkeye, because they fought a lot in the comic books. And these guys look pretty cool, standing next to each other. And then I will put him next to Captain America. This is the 20th anniversary version. Also looking very cool next to each other. Very cool. Very neat. And then one more for Taskmaster. I will put him next to Deadpool, because these guys also fight a lot in the comic books. He's one of the only people that can't really fight Deadpool in a fair fight, because Deadpool is too unpredictable. He also uses the Spider-Man body mold, so it's kind of like you can use him as like your Spider-Man stand-in for like, oh, how tall is he to scale? Well, they use the exact same body mold, so they look pretty cool next to each other as well. And next, I will take Doombot, Dr.Doom Doombot, and do size comparisons with him. And I'll primarily be using Dooms. And they all use pretty much the same body mold. So let me grab my Dr. Doom right here. There we go. There is. I'll put these two next to each other. Doom next to one of his Doom bots, and I don't know if you can tell, but the plastic is definitely different. This plastic is much more of a silvery color. Well, this one's more of a light metal gray, sort of. Again, very, very cool that we get the option of a Doom bot, especially if you have the original Dr. Doom figure. You can definitely buy more, like, I would buy more heads for this figure. I don't necessarily think I would buy another 3-pack just to get a Doom bot. Maybe people will sell it differently, sell it separately maybe online. That'd be pretty cool. And honestly, that would be very neat. And then you get out Lord God Doom from Battle World, and you can put him right in the middle of these two and just be like, oh, these are my Doom bots. Here's my peons. Look at this. Very, very cool to have 3 Dooms. You have Doombot, God Doom, and perhaps another Doombot. Very, very cool looking that you can do that. I like that a lot. I like that as an option. Hold on 1 second. And now I've transformed him back into regular Doom. And these guys look very, very awesome together. I think it's a really cool trio of Doom. A triad of terror. Now, hold on. Let me get these guys out of the way. Set him back up. Put him right next to Doom. Let me grab Taskmaster again. Master some tasks for me, please. Put Taskmaster right there. And then let me get 2 more characters out. I have a Namor figure that I would like to put in with these guys. Now, I do not have a Lady Loki anymore. I did actually happen to sell her a while back, along with my Hood figure, because I wasn't very interested in the Hood as a character. He just did not appeal to me a lot. I might actually have to go back and find a Hood figure, which might not be too hard. And a Lady Loki, because they did make a single release. I did get the original A4 6-pack back in the day, but I ended up selling that as well because I did not care that much for it. And then, there, this Emma Frost is a little hard to stand. So I'll just hold on to her feet. But yeah, this is my little Cabal. I do have the other Namor, I just couldn't find him in time, so there we go. This is the Cabal. And the 3-pack, this 3-pack in particular, is very cool. It works for a lot of different things that you're going for. Your Cabal, your Dark Avengers, Dark Reign stuff. This Taskmaster can be used for all of your Avengers stuff. This Dr. Doom can still work for all of your Fantastic Four stuff, especially with the Doombot head. If you did get the other Doom, it does work as a Doombot. It's great for options. This is a great 3-pack for options. And I really like that. Especially since these two are retools, remakes, stuff in case you missed the old ones, you can get this one instead. I think that it's a good, solid 3-pack. I don't think the price is worth it. It's $74. That would put the figures at least 26 or so a piece, I want to say. Like, around that ballpark, or around, like, let's see, 2060, 20... 40, They're all around, like, Marvel Legends are now 25, 26 a piece. With inflation, taxes, shipping, I think that it's pretty expensive for a 3-pack. That kind of sucks. But this is a solid 3-pack for figures that if you didn't get before, you can get now. I like it a lot. And I hope you guys enjoy it. If you guys end up picking this up, let me know what you guys think of it. And hopefully I can get some more new Avengers characters so I can pose around with these guys as well. The 85th anniversary line is really good. Hasbro's been knocking it out of the park lately in terms of sculpted detail and in terms of, like, somehow paint with some of these figures. Some of their paint printing techniques are really good. Please enjoy the photos at the end, and thank you guys for watching. Bye, guys.